His background was perfect. This was everything he wanted in his career, and it was a $60,000 placement that I had set up. I knew it was going to happen before anything started.
Yeah.
I applied to a different job. I saw him, and I was like, I'm going to get a call from this guy, and I'm going to charge 60 grand. But that happened to me. That happened to me because of 5 years of relationship building and knowing what to look at, because I knew, I won't say their names, but these 3 people were leaving that company, and I knew everything about the situation. There was an overnight success story that paid me $37,000 personally.
I continue to say that like the work gets easier over a long period of time, but I think for like an entry level like sourcer recruiter doesn't really know what that means quite yet, or what it will like how those efforts pay off over time. But it isn't amazing when you do have a good relationship, you know that people are quitting before they quit because they gave you a phone call. You know what's happening within the organization before the leadership team knows.
Yeah.
You know what opportunities are going to open up, and you can start like backfilling. And it's just like, man, like that opportunity to work like before anybody else has real insights. You have it's asymmetric information, and so that's the power of that information. You get to make a lot of money.
That's a great point. We often talk in here about compounding efforts, right? Which is exactly what you just described, where you'll put an effort somewhere in a role, opportunity. Maybe it doesn't pan out, but then, this opportunity is here. And I just talked to that person at another company who would be a great fit for this company. You connect the dots, boom, placement made, just like that. Great example of that. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll share my biggest single placement ever. Country's unique. I mean, we have, you said 8 years, average tenure. I think our average bill last year was $520, $550
per desk.
40 per desk.
I think it's $435.
$430.
Am I wrong?
I think it was 5. I think it was over 5. Regardless, it was a lot, and we'd bill that. So if everybody tracks it differently. But if Shelby and I do a placement together for $20,000, she gets 10, I get 10. We don't both get 20. So I think in the way you bill it, from my understanding, that's about, we're averaging across 22 desks. Yeah. Almost $1 million by the way you track it.
Out of the notes.
Oh.
Yeah,
But-
I know. I'm like, what is that?
Let's see it. Let's get real transparent with the type of money you can make. So I'm going to ask Jenny a personal question in front of the group. How much money do you make this past month?
$20K
In January?
Sounds good.
in a month, from like December 15th to January 15th.
Not too shabby, right? And what would you say was a turning point for you to get to that place where that's a consistent number, right? What would you say was sort of the turning point to you finding, okay, I can actually place candidates regularly?
It was more so like that sense of urgency was calling. Brandon was just, I had built my cadence with everything, and Brandon's like, listen, this candidate fell through, we need somebody yesterday. Just like we talked about. And I was like, okay, I'm on it. And I had set up a campaign with Alfred, and in the morning time, Colin reached back out to me. I was like, let's set up a meeting right now. And so having that sense of urgency, it also excites me too. Like Sam Labs is just like, we need candidates, and I'm like, cool, I'm on it. I think that's a huge turning point to my success.
Landon, same question for you. What in the last 30-ish days or so?
About 10 grand.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that was from the last day of the year, so it hasn't even been, it's been over a full month. We're in February, oops. But since the last day of the year, it's a little over 10 grand.
That's
maybe
right.
like 12, I think like 12 or
Very good.
13, something like that.
Absolutely. And what was a turning point for you?
Like the biggest thing that helped me, and I know like it might sound a little strange, but the biggest thing was when I went to Korea, because I had to work twice as hard but in a shorter amount of time. I only had 2 to 3 hours in the morning, and I had 2 to 3 hours at night. And if I wanted to talk to someone, I needed to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning, and then turn around and wake up 6 or 7 in the morning to chat. So that was actually the big turnaround for me. As I was doing that, I kind of got more confidence, like, oh wow, like I can really do this from anywhere. And then my conversations with people just kind of got better. You know, there was just more rapport being built. And then I'd say after that was the turning point for me.